Okay, the BSA chopper is being picked up, and the owner is going to. We kicked it one time and it started in the shop. Now it'll probably embarrass us. Well, that's not bad. Well. Try keeping it in mid-range for a little while, because that's where we ran into a problem. So test the heck out of mid-range. I swear they hate us. Well, so far mid-range sounds good. Okay, we'll see when he comes back. Here he comes. I hear him.
So it's sputtering at the top of the power band.
Top?
Yep. So it's like it's wanting me to like switch gears. So, but it's sputtering out the tailpipe.
Okay, now at full throttle versus mid-range,
Like mid to full.
it's got 200 main jets in it. You want to go to a larger main jet?
Probably. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's go inside and see what I have in my spares.
Cool.
All right, so here we are. The bike seems to misfire and run poorly at full throttle, or at least the top of the mid-range. First of all, I'm going to check the pilot jets and make sure they haven't clogged up. And then I'm going to pull this cover off and see if there's oil in the primary again, which would be interesting, but I still don't know how that makes it run bad. And then I'm going to order some new main jets. It's running 200s now, but it's running wide open exhaust. So I'm going to buy some 220s, 240s, and 260s. We'll try them all, see which one works, and see if that solves the top end problem. Now, the only corollary to that is that Jim's had the bike for 10 years and it's always run fine through the full throttle range. So, well, first of all, check the pilots, and then we will check the oil, and then maybe do another ride, and then make a decision. Okay, so we cleaned the pilot jets, set them back to 1.5 turns out, and check there's no excessive oil in the primary at this point. We're going to do another test ride and see how it goes. All right, we're going to start the bike here on the lift and do a little revving and see what it sounds like. Miserable. seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, pow pow.
Pow pow. That sounds more ignition
Timing.
than carburetor. But that's a brand new big ignition system.
Yeah.
I put it in there.
And the timing?
Well, we checked the timing yesterday. Kevin and I did. It's checks good, but okay.
With a light? You did it with a light, huh?
We're videoing right now. Say hi. She's as good a mechanic as you'll ever meet in her life. I mean, she overhauled her own airplane's engine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she's a good mechanic. So her questions are perfectly legitimate. Jim, I've never seen anything like that. Not any bike I've ever worked on. We're open to suggestions, guys. Whatever you think. Wow. Honest to goodness. I just don't know. What, let me see, what's the headlight over? Very dim.
It's dim.
Let's hook the charger to the bike and run it again with the charger hooked to your battery.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. All right. Charger says it's charging. I don't know if that'll make any difference in the headlight or not, whether it's put out enough current. Not the other way, Frank. Your other way. It's still showing dim because it really doesn't put out a lot of power. You know what? Let's take this battery. It's more power than that. I don't know if that's getting far enough in there to make contact or not. Never mind, it's backwards. This is hot. This is power. Oh, I know what. Yeah,
Just this end?
Just like that. Let's see if that'll go on.
And then you have the, yeah, there you go.
That should be normal. And that way it's fused through here. All right, let's see what headlight looks like now. Oh God, yeah.
There you go.
All right, so fire it up. Let's video. Let's get the video going. All right. Oh, we're still running. That's good. So what we've done is hook up the shop battery in parallel to the bike's battery. We're going to try it with a bigger, heavier duty battery and see what happens.
I need more juice.
You're kidding. Nope. It's got a tiny little battery down there to assist the ignition system. It's been in there for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we replaced it the last time I was here.
2017, I think, or
2021.
2021.
Don't be, dang.
So all new with lots of power going to the ignition. Ipso ergo facto yabba dabba doo and ramadama ding dong. Hie thee home and put in a new battery.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good as is. I don't see anything else.
No, not at all.
Okay, how about them apples, folks? We're just going to put a new battery in there. That thing runs like, it sounds great. All right, good. We're going to let it go. You happy, Jim?
Yep.
We good?
Yep.
All right, we're good. Okay, Jim has taken the chopper home. That was an incredibly interesting experience. Once we put the buddy battery onto it, it ran like a top. So he's going to put a new battery in his bike, and that should solve that problem. This is my shop battery. I have it fused and on-off here. I take the battery off on these two connectors, which let me plug in any kind of adapter that I want. And I have about like 6 or 7 different adapters. So the shop battery, toggle switch on and off, fused for safety, and universal one size fits. I usually say universal one size fits nothing, but in this case, universal one size fits a whole bunch of different connectors that I use during test. It's very handy to be able to turn the battery on and off. So anyway, we hooked this battery up to his charge port on his bike, which gave him this much battery. And boy, you saw it fire right up and rev like a so-and-so. And that's a learning experience for me. Usually the bike's alternator and small battery will make enough power to rev it at all throttle ranges. I'm wondering if that little battery wasn't actually drawing the system down rather than supporting it. So anyway, that's where we are. And I'm going to work on this bike for a little while, probably maybe today. The battery for this bike should be here today, so I'll put it in today or tomorrow. And that's the way it is here on Griswold Road.